What the jungle knew. The snakes were trying to tell me something, so was my body. This essay was first published in April 2025 behind a paywall. I'm releasing it now with a new frame because what I wrote then turned out to be more true and more complicated than I understood when I wrote it. I was sitting with plant medicine when the protection arrived. It was a Sunday morning the week before I left for Costa Rica, my 10th trip since we began building the resort. I had spent over a year and a half on that land, carving paths through dense jungle, and I knew, with both reverence and practicality, that the land held dangers. The fertilance, responsible for more snake bites in Costa Rica than any other viper, was somewhere in that undergrowth. Esteban had told me about them in the way that people who love a place also fear it. The Ticos joke that women are like fertilances. Beautiful, deadly, unrelenting. Misogynistic, yes, but also a testament to how deeply the snake is respected. In the meditation, light moved through every cell of my body, and a knowing settled over me almost gently in its certainty. I would not be harmed by snakes. I believed it. I laughed about it with friends. I wasn't planning to test the theory. But then the jungle called, and I went. Christmas in the jungle, 11 miles to the waterfalls on Christmas Day, the kind of exhaustion that feels like prayer. That evening, Esteban and I walked to the creek for our usual rinse under the stars. Look, he said, pointing his flashlight at the rocks. At first, I couldn't see her. Then, there she was, coiled, silent, unmistakable, a fertilance. I had trusted Esteban to keep me safe on that land. He knew every inch of it. He'd clear the paths, learn the rhythms, built the shelter. I had leaned into his knowledge the way you lean into the expertise of someone who loves a place more than they fear it. And he was keeping me safe in every way he could, by pointing his flashlights at the rocks, by calling me to look, by making the invisible visible. But the fertilance is, by design, invisible. That's the thing about expert camouflage. It defeats even expert eyes. He was doing everything right, and it wasn't enough to make me safe because safety was never the thing on offer. From that night on, I asked the snakes for permission to pass. I slowed down, I scanned. 2 days later, another one, on the steps to the creek. Esteban moved her aside. The next morning, following him as he raked the path, I felt safe. I wasn't looking carefully. When I came back from my bath, there she was on the very step I just descended, coiled, calm, unmoved. My foot must have been within 2 inches of her. With antivenom an hour away, I might not be writing this now. I put my knee-high boots on after that, every time. Here's what I understood then. The meditation had not given me immunity. It had given me something subtler and more demanding, a heightened attention, a readiness to receive the warning and act on it. The protection was real, and the protection required something from me. A year and a half after that Christmas on the jungle steps, in July of 2025, I was hospitalized with necrotizing fasciitis, a rare aggressive bacterial infection, the kind that moves fast, the kind that doctors treat as a race against the clock. I survived. I'm still in the process of metabolizing what that survival means, not just medically, but cosmologically, because the snakes had felt like a message, and this did too. And I'm sitting with what it means that I received both. I had trusted that I was divinely protected. I still believe that I am, and yet my body became a site of serious danger a year and a half after I stood 2 inches from a venomous snake on a jungle step. I've been asking myself, was the protection present and I failed to listen for what it was asking me to do? Or is the protection something different entirely, not a force that prevents harm, but a force that moves with you through it? I don't have the answer. I'm not sure the question has a clean one. The snakes were not the only warning the land offered me over those years. There were dangers in Costa Rica beyond the ones with scales and fangs, things I could feel in my body, contractions and signals, the same quiet no I had written about in other contexts that I did not fully honor. The land was trying to tell me something. The snakes had been trying to tell me something. And perhaps my body eventually became the message it could not deliver any other way. I still believe I am divinely protected. I want to be precise about what that means to me now, a year further into this reckoning. It does not mean I am exempt from harm. It does not mean the universe will clear the steps before I descend them. It does not mean that love, or a vision, or even a genuine spiritual knowing makes the people and places in our lives safe in the ways we need them to be. It means I am not alone in the dark. It means that the light moving through my body in that meditation was real, and it pointed me towards something. It means that the snake on the step was a messenger, and the illness was a messenger, and I am trying imperfectly, incompletely, to hear what both of them said. What I'm learning is that divine protection and human responsibility are not alternatives. They are a conversation. The universe offers the knowing. I have to act on it. The snakes showed me the danger was real. I had to put on the boots. The body signaled long before the infection. I needed to listen more closely to what it was refusing. Trust, I think, was never supposed to be a reason to stop paying attention. It was supposed to make the attention possible. The calm in which you can actually see what is in front of you. Esteban raked the stairs, he shone the light, he did everything he could, and the snake was still there, on the step I had just crossed, composed and unhurried, having always been there. Some things we are protected from, some things we walk into 2 inches of and never know, and some things find us anyway, and we survive them, and we are changed. The resort is still being built, the vision is still alive. I am going back. I will wear my boots. There's a goddess I want to call in here before I close. Angisha was worshipped by the Oscan-Umbrian people of central Italy, a deity of serpents, healing, and the knowledge of poisons. She was said to be able to charm snakes, to understand their venom not as a threat but as a medicine, to move among the most dangerous things and emerge not unscathed but knowing. Some scholars believe her name is rooted in the Latin anguis, serpent, others connected to angiri, to press, to squeeze, to bring to the threshold of breath. Both feel true to me. She is not a goddess of safety. She is a goddess of the relationship with danger, of the woman who does not flee from what is venomous but learns its nature, earns its respect, and carries that knowledge as power. She does not promise you will not be bitten. She promises that if you are, you will know what to do with the venom. I am invoking her now for myself and for anyone reading this who is in their own terrain of hidden danger and uncertain footing. May we develop her eyes. May we slow down enough to see what is coiled on the steps before we descend. May we wear our boots. May we ask permission before we cross sacred ground, and may we be honest enough with ourselves to hear the answer. And when the venom finds us anyway, because sometimes it will, may we trust that we were already being prepared for what came. Angisha, keeper of serpent wisdom, who presses us to the threshold and holds us there until we understand, I call your name here. Walk with us into the unknown places. Teach us what the jungle knows. Not immunity, attention, and then action. If you're in a season of reckoning with a body that has carried more than expected, a vision that has cost you, a trust that needed revision, this is exactly the work I do. I walk alongside people in the in-between. You can find me at www.goddessintraining.online. Please consider subscribing, liking, sharing. These episodes are delivered as they emerge, honest in real time and from inside the passage. Thank you for being here.